today was one of those football games where it was a battle of inches. You know, you kind of think about the old football movies where you talk about moving the ball inch by inch, and this was going to be that when we all decided that we had to play Northern Illinois today. That's just the style of basketball that they play. They're very tough, physical, and I'm actually relatively proud of the way that our team responded to how physical Northern Illinois was playing. I think the difference in the basketball game, however, was the fact that they had players, they meaning Northern Illinois, that stepped up in a big way in crucial times. You know, it was a game of momentum, and I thought where we had a few opportunities to hold them scoreless, loose ball scramble, Corral hits a three. Loose ball scramble, Sneed made some big shots going to the rim. So I thought those two in particular really carried their effort today at crucial times, and I thought that was really the difference. Obviously, we didn't help ourselves going scoreless for a stretch there in the second half, but I still thought that we might be able to weather the storm just because they're not a prolific scoring team. But today they made shots when they needed them, and to me that was the difference. You know, I'm thinking in particular of a sequence toward the end of the game where we're trying to turn them over or foul. If we didn't get a steal, we got a steal, had two of our players around the ball, we didn't possess it. So instead we end up having a foul, they go down and stick some free throws. That to me just kind of summarized our afternoon, where it was this close to being successful, and Northern Illinois finishes a play that we had an opportunity to make.
Go ahead with questions.
Going back to the Western Michigan game and today, you guys close out the half on a nice little run. You come out after halftime very confident, very intense, take the lead, and what seems to be, there's just like a little bit of a lull. What needs to be fixed, I guess, for you guys to carry all of that momentum throughout the entire second half?
Yeah, you know, right now, I agree with you with that summary, and I'm proud of our team for making those types of adjustments, but we've got a challenge about how we start basketball games, and then after that sometimes that initial media timeout in the second half. Those are the two lulls for us, and so as a coaching staff, one of the things that we're continuing to do is to structure practice so that at those points in practices, our intensity is required to improve as opposed to wane. So some of it is practice planning. A lot of it is just mental toughness, recognizing that those are crucial times for our team, recognizing that that's a crucial time for us to force ourselves to be more mentally attuned to what's happening out there. But I agree with you. We do a nice job coming out of halftime with some good enthusiasm. We typically go on a nice run at that point in time. And then we've also, and Mel Stubbs was a good example of that today, we need to get some help from our bench so that we can maintain, or if not, increase our intensity during those times in the game.
How frustrating was it that after the three-pointers weren't falling, you kind of had to just shy away from them and go back down inside to Hamzin or Dine? What was that like?
I don't know that not making threes is frustrating for us, honestly, because we haven't been very good from the three-point line for most of the year. I think the games where we have shot the three ball well, I'm thinking of Temple maybe, where Tricia got busy a little bit from out there, have been few and far between. So it's not that we show up expecting to really make people pay from out there. And quite honestly, the brand of basketball that we need to play to be successful, like Tam mentioned, would require us to get fouled and to get paint touches. Regardless of how big or not big we are, the highest percentage shots in basketball are closer to the basket. And so we're always going to be determined to find some way to get points in there. I thought we got some good transition opportunities today, getting back to a little bit of who we are in terms of playing fast. We've got to create more of those opportunities, and it's better when the ball doesn't go through the net for the other team, for us to take advantage of those transition opportunities.
Can you talk a little bit about the Play for K game and
Sure.
how that kind of impacted why you chose to do it?
Sure. The Play for K game is kind of morphed probably over the last, 5 or 6 years. Kay Yao was a legendary coach at NC State. She was the head women's basketball coach there, who fought breast cancer a number of times, actually, and she was a tremendous ambassador for women's basketball and sport, really, but a tremendous ambassador specifically for women's college basketball. And so it's gone from a Pink Zone Day to Play for K Day after she passed away. an opportunity to raise funds for breast cancer research and awareness. It's a national campaign headed by the WBCA and the KYAO Foundation. So it's an awesome way to honor women that have triumphed over breast cancer, and men for that matter, and to recognize it as one of the worst killers of women and men in the world, really. So it's a great way to raise awareness and to get some excitement around women's basketball at the same time.
I asked Tamsin about this, about the long break until next Saturday. How are you going to bring the team back to practice and focus in to get another back win?
Yeah, bye weeks are for rest, recovery, and recruiting. Rest, recovery, recruiting. So we'll give our players a couple of days. I'm not sure that we'll have back-to-back days, but because we're not prepping for a Wednesday or Thursday competition, they'll probably get 2 days off this week as opposed to one. And we'll just have our coaches out and about recruiting. We're building right now at Kent State, and recruiting doesn't stop. We could be here for 15 years, and we could be here for, as we've been, 15 minutes, whatever it is. It's all about getting more talent in our program. And so we'll hit the road a little bit this week, and then our players will get an opportunity to refocus on their academic work ahead a little bit, because this is our last chance to take a deep breath before we make a push in these last 6 games.
Tamsin talked a little bit about Melanie Stubbs tonight, but what were your thoughts on her coming off the bench? She seemed to really provide a spark. Finishing, she had 4 points, it looks like, and she was able to attack the basket.
Yeah, Mel brings a different dynamic, and she started the season off very well. If you'll remember, she was all tournament when we went to Georgia State's Thanksgiving tournament, and so we know that she has that potential. One thing that Mel is wrestling with, as is Tam, is that we're asking Mel to play multiple positions. So we're asking her to spend some time in the paint. Today she was able to play on the perimeter a little bit, where she's a little bit more comfortable. So she was able, I think, to get back to where she likes to play and impact the game by being athletic, and that's one of Mel's best attributes. So can we expect that from Mel every game? Yes, we can. And she certainly earned an opportunity to be more strongly considered moving forward. But I have no complaints about the effort that our team gives every day in practice, and that's what makes it easy to wake up and sprint into the office to work with them, because we work hard. And I told our team I'm frustrated because today was one of those deals where there was a difference between success and failure that was about this much. And it was literally that much, and it just we fell short at the wrong times in that battle. But they're plugged in, and they're as excited as anybody to go to Toledo next Saturday. And we talked honestly, we need to play well next Saturday, but we're not going to prep any differently, fully expecting to go there and play the game of our lives, because we've worked and worked and worked to try to play a 40-minute basketball game of Kent State basketball, and we'll get there.